Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, several police agencies were called to the Bell County Detention Center yesterday afternoon after police say inmates caused an uproar and destroyed property at the jail. WYMT's Hannah Reynolds has some new information.
Bell County Jailer Gary Ferguson says yesterday afternoon around 2, an inmate disturbance started at the jail. He says before long, the issues escalated, causing the need for more assistance from several agencies, including the Kentucky State Police. Ferguson says the inmates ripped a television from a wall, attempted to take a phone down, tried to flood a cell, and broke safety glass inside their cell. Today, we are told there are 5 inmates in all that are charged. Those inmates are Brad Barnett, Jonathan Widener, Talmadge Posey, Virgil Brock, and Jonathan Maples. The inmates face charges of inciting a riot, criminal mischief, wanton endangerment first degree, menacing, and terroristic threatening in the 3rd degree.
I'm very happy to report that, after all the threats that were made, that the incident was, secured and no one was injured. The officers that came on board to help and all of my staff were intact.
Ferguson says the inmates caused several thousands of dollars worth of damage. In Bell County, Hannah Reynolds, WYMT Mountain News.
Hannah, thank you, and we'll have more on this coming up at 5:30.
Well, we've seen a couple of scattered showers and storms popping up today, and that's really going to continue as we head into the next couple of hours. Let's go ahead and take a look at the cameras because you'll notice that we've seen a good mixture of sunshine and clouds today. And if you remember, sunshine does help to fuel those storms. So we're seeing some sunshine over into Jackson with storms approaching the area. And if you look over to Interstate 75 in London, you've seen those showers and storms that have popped up here and there. As you can see, those wet roadways. So here they are on satellite and radar, just a few popping up. And then now we're starting to see that main line just out to the west, and that'll continue to trek into our area. So let's go ahead and take a look at pinpoint Doppler. You're seeing very strong showers and storms moving into the area, already up into Powell County, places along I-64, and then you're seeing that main line just inching into Pulaski and Wayne County here in the next little bit. You could see lightning associated with that. Really gusty winds, heavy rain, and maybe some small hail could be associated with these storms. Now we are still in, or you see really where those strong to severe storms kind of are right now is really where that slight risk is. That's the best chance for some severe storms this afternoon and into the evening hours. Most of us, though, are in that marginal risk. Remember, that's a 1 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. You'll notice those temperatures very warm today. So we have that warm air in place. We also have that sunshine. So that'll help fuel those storms that will be moving into the area. So that continues tonight and even into your Friday as well. Soggy conditions look to be in your Saturday, but we do clear out by Sunday. I'll have that full forecast coming up in just a little bit. Steve.
All right. Thank you, Paige. More dangerous storms are sweeping through several states today. Nearly 12 million people in at least 8 states are under a severe weather threat. Heavy rain could trigger flash flooding from the southern plains to the upper Midwest. Businesses in downtown Davenport, Iowa are struggling to clean up after waters from the Mississippi River broke through a temporary levee on Tuesday.
I was standing on the back door, and then I saw the water kind of rush in the back alley and then come back around into the second alley.
In addition to tornadoes across the region, severe weather has been unrelenting in places for months. In March, floods slammed communities in Missouri and Nebraska. And in April, powerful spring blizzards spanned from Colorado to Minnesota. A Southern Kentucky teenager who was stabbed in a high school bathroom did not suffer serious injuries. That's what his mother is telling us today. Daniel Wilson was stabbed in the chest yesterday after his mother says another student was angry that he did not share his can of empty dip with him. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more from Somerset.
Contessa Brock tells me that her 18-year-old son Daniel was airlifted to UK Hospital yesterday afternoon, not long after he was stabbed here at Pulaski County High School. But she says that he was taken there only for precautionary reasons, and he was back here at school today.
Boy comes in, asks him for a dip.
Contessa Brock says her son was able to talk to her while he was being airlifted to UK Hospital about an hour after the incident Wednesday in Somerset. She says he was looked over at UK, given 5 stitches, and then sent home around 5 o'clock. She says he told her the 17-year-old approached him in the restroom asking for some of his dip. She says her son had an empty can in his pocket, and when he told him that he didn't have any, things quickly turned ugly.
He said I turned back around, and when I turned to the boy again, he had a knife in my face. He said I tried to knock it away, but he went underneath my arm and stabbed me.
We don't know a lot about the suspect. He is a juvenile, only 17. His name will not be released by authorities. We're told that he was taken to a juvenile holding facility, and he is facing a charge of first-degree assault. In Pulaski County, Phil Pendleton, now back to you.
Brock says she would have liked an attempted murder charge levied against the suspect, but says police told her it is hard to prove that intent in court. A death row inmate in Georgia is set for execution today. 52-year-old Scotty Garnell Morrow killed his ex-girlfriend Barbara Ann Young and her friend Tanya Woods in 1994. Another woman was injured in the shooting. He has confessed to the crimes. Morrow requested a large last meal of a burger, chicken and waffles, ice cream, popcorn, hot dogs, and lemonade. He is scheduled to die by lethal injection at 7 p.m. Attorney General William Barr informed House Democrats he would not show up at today's Judiciary Committee hearing, and he was true to his word. Barr was scheduled to testify about his handling of Special Counsel Robert Mueller's report this morning, but he backed out when Democrats added an extra hour of questioning by staff attorneys. Committee Chairman Jerry Nadler says he is willing to hold the Attorney General in contempt of Congress.
If he does not provide this committee with the information it demands and the respect it deserves, Mr. Barr's moment of accountability will come soon enough.
Republicans point to the 5 hours of testimony in the Senate yesterday as proof the Attorney General is willing to answer Congress's questions. The Department of Homeland Security will launch a DNA testing program at the southern border as early as next week. In an unprecedented move, ICE officers will soon begin the testing to crack down on what they call fraudulent families. The Department of Homeland Security says the new pilot program will involve a voluntary cheek swab with results expected in less than 2 hours.
Also trying to identify those families that are presenting as a parent or guardian that are not actually parent or guardian, and the fraud issue that's intrinsic there.
The government claims the DNA samples will be destroyed after tests are run, but the ACLU calls the plan coercive and says it raises serious privacy and civil liberties concerns. After favorite Omaha Beach was sidelined following a breathing problem last night, the Kentucky Derby is now considered wide open. This also leaves 2 Hall of Famers out as well, trainer Richard Mandella and jockey Mike Smith. Mandella says Omaha Beach developed a cough and subsequent veterinary exam showed the colt has an entrapped epiglottis. The condition is not life or career threatening and is corrected with minor surgery. With Omaha Beach out, Game Winner is currently the new favorite. Let's head over to Wall Street now on this Thursday afternoon. The Dow closes down today more than 122 points. Pikeville leaders and community members came together today at Pikeville City Park to celebrate the National Day of Prayer. The day included a few speakers from local churches and special singing. Attendees pierced their special prayers onto a wooden cross and prayed as a community. Grace Fellowship Pastor Debbie Bailey said the day is set aside to celebrate the power of prayer and what it can do.
We believe that it's important that we come together as Christians, that we pray for things in our communities, things in our nation, for our people, for our families, all the things that we're concerned about and the needs.
A second event will take place in the park tonight at 6:30. The U.S. is remembering the 6 million Jewish people the Nazis murdered during World War II. The nation's annual Days of Remembrance is today. The Nazis killed at least 6 million Jews along with 11 million others. Activities are planned throughout the week, including events at the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum in Washington. In ceremonies, names are read of the men, women, and children killed during the Holocaust. Straight ahead on First at 4, are you thinking about ordering a puppy online? Well, you should watch out for scammers. Tips on how not to fall victim just ahead.
And the soggy and stormy weather continues, but for how long? We'll break down that full forecast in just a few short minutes.